Hey folks, welcome back to another review right here on the Dice Tower with yours truly, Sam Healey. Today we're taking a look at Side Quest 7th Sea. This is an escape room in a box set within the setting of the 7th Sea role-playing game. You don't need to know anything about the role-playing game in order to enjoy this one though. Let's get down to the table and let's take a look. So here we have everything that comes in the box of Side Quest 7th Sea, and you're going to get a bunch of these things. These are basically just sheets that are going to you're going to be instructed to open them at certain points in time. One of them does say, spoiler alert, don't open this until you're advised to do that. There's another one down here for hints, because this is a puzzle game. So you're basically going to be trying to figure out a bunch of different puzzles as you're going through an adventure in which this fellow right here is the star in the 7th Sea universe or realm or what have you. This is actually the bottom of the box, and it is constructed by some of those sheets. So you basically just pick the side that matches the side of that sheet with the box. As you can see here, everything lines up on this side of the box when you have it pushed down in there. Same thing with this one. So it doesn't take too long to figure out how to put that together. So this one's going to say start here. It says the game has no rule book. No rule book? How do I know how to play? To start the game, make sure all the cards in the deck are in ascending order, going by the numbers in the upper right corner, which is up here. And then we'll go on from that, and then start reading card introduction 1, follow the instructions on the card. So then we would take the deck here and we just simply start reading, and it begins to explain the game to you. So this one says, Side Quest 7th Sea is a puzzle game in the world of 7th Sea, a famous RPG system. Owning any of the 7th Sea books is not required to play this game. Have fun. Go to the next card introductions too. So what would you normally do? Well, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over. It says, hey, why did you do that? The game will tell you when you need to flip a card. Doing so at your own discretion might spoil the fun. So that you have to look for this. So that's something that I thought was pretty funny. And that's one of the things that you'll find throughout the game is a good level of humor. So go to Introductions Level 2. So now this is where it actually tells you to build the fortress and all of that kind of stuff and how to line things up, all that kind of thing. Flip the card over. Now you need all of these different things that you're going to be using to play the game, the deck of cards, the hints, all of these tokens out here and all of that kind of stuff. And so then you go into telling you how to solve the puzzle. And really, that's what you're going to be doing throughout the majority of this game. You're going to be solving different puzzles using this sheet right here. And this is basically the puzzle matrix that is going to be used throughout the course of the game. So what we'll do is we'll take the number 1 tablet with puzzle glyph A on it. And so the number 1 will go right here. You'll line the top section up with the top of the badge with the bottom of the badge here. And then number 2 will go in here just like this. You'll line those things up. And then number 3 will line up right here just like this, so that you're piecing together all of these little badges. And then 4 will be lined up right here just like this. Now, this is the same kind of idea that you're going to be doing to solve most, if not all, of the puzzles. There are some that don't use these, that you just have to solve by examining the environment of the box. But you'll know that you're doing it right if the same symbol is on the left side and the same symbol is on the right side as you're going through. So all 4 of these rows have the same symbol over here, and all 4 of these over here have the same symbol. So what does that do? It tells you to read card 27. So you go through and you find cards 27, and I'm doing this backwards, that's why it's a little wonky. So card 27 basically says, time to start. This is where the game begins. You will play as a single character from his point of view. And then you'll read this and it'll tell you to flip over, and that's where you're actually going to begin the game. But you're generally, more often than not, going to have to be taking information from the cards and information from the environment to try to figure out where these tokens are going to be placed on this answer matrix so that you can unlock that next card and move on through the game. Now, it does not take a whole lot of brain power, especially it's a 1 to 4 player game. If you're doing it by yourself, you might have to use the hints a lot. Sometimes if you have more than one head looking at the same problem, you need fewer hints. You won't be using all of these different components at the same time, but you'll use them in different times to solve different puzzles, and you'll do that until you come to the back of the deck where it says the end. And of course, I don't want to spoil anything, so I'm not going to show you any more than what I've already did, but this is basically a pretty good overview, very much a top-level overview of the game, and so let's get to my final thoughts. All right, so that's that for SideQuest 7th Sea. There isn't a whole lot of mechanisms to explain to you because really you're just trying to figure out puzzles by studying the environment, reading the instructions on the cards, reading the clues that are on the cards, and it's a very, how can I put this? It's a very thematic experience, frankly, as you would expect from a escape room type of experience. Most escape rooms that I've been to have been very thematically charged, and this one doesn't disappoint in that area. One of the things that I liked so much about the theme is that it didn't take itself too seriously. The central character is very much a spoof character of someone that is basically over the top in almost everything that he does, and very much concerned about how he looks towards everyone else in the world and that kind of thing. It's just a very fun, neatly written dialogue that this individual goes through in this series, in this set of events. And I think it's a really thematic experience, and that was one of the things that I was very surprised about because it mirrored, a lot of these escape rooms in a box, they don't really do a good job of pulling the theme in. And there have been a couple, like the Star Wars Unlock. The three things that were in that were very thematic, and I thought that was great. This one kind of felt the same brand, and so I think Board and Dice did a really good job with that. But I think that this is going to be a game where you're basically going to be able to play through it once, but you don't consume any of the stuff. And I think that's an important thing with the escape room games, is because you might forget how things go. You might forget how certain things, and you can come back to it after a time and maybe play it again, maybe not enjoy it as much as the first time, because that first time is going to spoil a lot of the tricks in it. But I think it's also, and this is where I think it's a really cool thing, it does say that it's for 1 to 4 players. So after you've played this, you could take it in almost like a dungeon master type of way, which falls in line with that RPG realm or world that it's within, and just kind of run 4 other people through it. And just make sure that they're staying on track, make sure that they're doing this, make sure that they're not turning over cards prematurely and that type of thing. You can kind of be like a dungeon master for them, and they can make all of the decisions and all that kind of thing. So I think there is some validity to purchasing it, owning it, and then keeping it in your collection, because after you've enjoyed the story, you can take other people through it as well. So let's go ahead and get to my pros and cons. My first pro is how thematically well done the artwork was. I love how the artwork looks, and it probably pushed me into the theme of the setting much more than the story. That was very well written, don't get me wrong, but I think it pushed me more into that theme than the actual story did. But I think the story and the theme worked so well together, and that's really my second pro. I might as well just go ahead and show you that now. My second pro is how well the dialogue between, and I say that it's a dialogue. You might be saying there's only a person there, it's a monologue. No. He talks to himself a lot. He also talks to his mom a lot, or he talks about his mom a lot. Anyway, that's not a spoiler, but it's pretty funny. And so that's one of the things that I really enjoyed about it. And both of those things, the artwork and how the writing was done, pushed me into that theme very securely. So that's my first two pros. Great artwork, and on top of that, great writing. My third pro was that the puzzles were challenging. Now, I say that, and I'm not really a puzzly person. We were doing it as a family. My stepson Dante is a lot more puzzle-oriented than I am. He was still having a hard time with a couple of different things. Jesse was able to help out on some of the spatial organization things, seeing patterns and that type of thing. So it was really neat to watch as the family came up to it. We each had little bits of input from time to time on all of these different puzzles that we were having to put together, and they were all challenging, but none of them seemed daunting. None of them seemed like there's no way we're going to figure this out. A couple of them were like, wow, this is going to take a long time. And then one of us went, oh, wait. And then the other person went, oh, yeah, you're right. Wait, look. And then the clues came together just like that. So that's one of my pros. The puzzles were challenging, but they weren't too daunting. My fourth pro of the game was this little thing right here, this answer matrix. I love this mechanism. I thought it was a great thing for them to do. It's a great way for you to be able to have to do multiple puzzles without having to use consumable materials. You can just use these tokens on this answer matrix for a number of different puzzles, and this doesn't get consumed. And I think that's great because a lot of the escape rooms, they come with consumable materials. So you play through it once, you're done. But that's not the case with this one. You can take other people through it. You can let people borrow it, and they can run it through themselves. I really think that this answer matrix thing was a great idea, and I really thought it was a fun time. I've already kind of mentioned this last pro, and that is the hint book that I'm not going to show you because I don't want you to be able to read any of the stuff that's on the screen. But the hint sheet that they give you, I love how it was laid out. I love how they broke up hints in little bite-sized morsels, and they only showed you one part of it, and you couldn't read anything else related to that single puzzle. You really had to kind of search for the next clue with the headings and monikers that were given there. I really enjoyed the hint book. I thought it was a great way to provide hints because I'm always very leery to use hints because my eyes wander. Even if I'm trying to keep them very succinct and focused, they still wander. And I don't want to see something that spoils something in this puzzle or another puzzle. So I loved how they did that. And that's going to be my final pro for the game. Now, as far as cons are concerned, the only real con is that you can run into people who are going to basically try to cheat with this answer matrix, and if you get one or two of the answers, well then maybe you can cheat with the other ones, and you don't have to actually figure everything out. I guess that's a con for the game, but really I don't think it's a con for the game so much as it is a con for the players, because you can run into those kinds of players that just want to find the stuff, beat the game, and it's more about the outcome than it is the journey getting there. And that's unfortunate, but I don't think it's a game problem, but it's a player problem, I think. So the reason I'm mentioning it is not so much as a con against the game itself, but it's a warning. Make sure that you play in this game with the right players that are going to keep it fun, that are going to keep it thematic. Unfortunately, it is, I think, one of those games that you have to do that on the front end. And that is basically just cherry pick the people that you're going to play this with, which is unfortunate because you want to be able to have the freedom to play any game with anybody, and you really do. Just take this as a warning that it has the potential, I guess you could say, of allowing somebody to basically just cheat the right answer without having gone through the journey of getting to the correct answer. That's the only con that I really have of the game, which is really not even a con of itself of the game itself. It's more the people playing it. My rating of the game, whoosh, 2 thumbs up. Here on the Dice Tower, I'm going to give this as far as escape room games are concerned, I'm going to give this one a 9 out of 10. I really enjoyed this. Now, take this 9 out of 10 with a grain of salt, because I am not a puzzle person. A puzzle person might see that 9 out of 10 and say, yes, a game for me. One that will finally get me to really stretch my brain muscles. No, probably not. I'm a thematic aesthetic gamer, and I like puzzles. I think they're cool, but I want to be able to figure them out, and I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed. Okay, so I really enjoyed this game. As escape room games go, for me, it's a 9 out of 10. I enjoy it. I super love it. I'm going to finish it, and then I'm going to keep it so that I can show other people how to play it. And as I said earlier, maybe act like that dungeon master type of thing going through it. I really enjoyed this. This was a pleasant surprise. I know nothing about the 7th Sea role-playing game. I have no investment there at all. I do know Board and Dice. They're a good company. And I like escape rooms, so I was excited to try this one. I really enjoyed it. It's a 9 out of 10. 2 thumbs up on the flip side if you're from over there. I think this is a great little game. If you haven't checked it out, you probably should. So go do so. Thank you for joining me. We'll see you guys and gals on the flip side. Take care.